So once again, we have scammers coming up on the rise, and they have another method of pulling off the Cashapp scam to rip you off. And these guys are making thousands and thousands of dollars by ripping people off with these scams. So I thought that I'd cover this in today's video, especially as I've covered other Cashapp scams before on this channel. Now, if you are interested in learning about these scams and how you can avoid scams, I have a playlist here on some of the worst scams on the internet today. And when I say the worst scams on the internet today, I don't mean worse in terms of how stupid these scams are or how they look, but worst as in how much money these scammers can actually make easily by pulling these scams off. And I cover these scams so you guys know how it all works. And so if anyone ever tries to scam you like this, you'll be able to know before, and this way you'll end up saving yourself from having your bank account drained or your Cash App drained or your credit ruined. Now, as always, a quick disclaimer, this video is not intended for you to replicate any of these processes. This is just for entertainment purposes only and to help you guys avoid these scams. So please use this information for only good. And with that said, we'll be kicking this video off with a $100 giveaway, one lucky winner each week of $25. And all you have to do for a chance to win is to drop a comment below, as we'll be selecting a random comment as a winner, and then hop on over to my website and subscribe with your email address, as that's how we will be announcing the winners every single week. Also, special shout out to all my returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel once again. I really appreciate all the support. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Eann, and on this channel, I talk about ways to make money. I talk about ways to save money. I talk about ways to invest your money. I talk about bank accounts and credit cards and everything to do with personal finance. So if you like these videos, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. It's 100% free to give this video a thumbs up, and it helps the channel out a ton. And also subscribe with the notifications on so you never miss the updates of when I post new videos, which is every single day on this channel. Let's now talk about how the scam starts, and this is by you getting a DM on Instagram or on some other social media platform of someone telling you that they work at Cash App and Cash App fired them, and so they're just about to give a bunch of people free money, or they'll tell you that they just won the lottery, or some story of them running into a lot of cash and they just want to bless you, or they just want to give away some money today and it's gonna cost you nothing, right? So you should reply to them and also give them a good email address to reach you at. And so because you think, well, I have nothing to lose, and by the way, scammers are using bots, so they're sending thousands or hundreds of thousands of these DMs every single day. And so you'll probably respond to them and say, okay, how am I going to get this free money? And they'll tell you that, okay, you should simply send your Cash App ID or your cash tag, and also a good email address or the email address that's linked to your Cash App. So again, you think to yourself and you say, okay, well, if I give you my Cash App, you can't do anything with it. And if I give you my email address, you can't do anything but send me spam. So you go ahead and you give them this information, and then within 5 minutes, you get an email saying that you have $1,000, $2,000, probably even $4,000 waiting to be claimed in your Cash App. And you open this email and it looks really legit, like it's from Cash App. However, this is where the ripping off starts. So the scammer will tell you that the money will not show up in the app quickly, but it will show up in the web, and you actually have to sign into Cash App on the web to complete the process of claiming this money. And so you should click on the link in the email that looks really legit, and it will take you to the Cash App website, and then you sign in using your Cash App ID or your email address and your password, and then you can actually claim the money, and then it will start showing up in the app as well. However, this is a trick, and I covered this in another scam video as well, because scammers use the same old tactics, but they use them for different scams. And they also use this very same trick with the bank account scam, where they get into your bank account and wipe you out. But that is another video, and you can watch that video as well. But here they send you a clone website which looks exactly like the real authentic Cash App website. However, if you look at the URL or the address bar, you'll realize that there is just some slight variation and something is actually off. And so you're actually putting your login information in a clone fake website. And when you log into that website, the scammers immediately gets your username and your password, and then they can hop into your Cash App, which most likely you have a link to your bank account, and then they can pull money from your Cash App. And even if you don't have any money in your Cash App, because it's linked to your bank account, they can start draining money from your bank account. So this way they send a bunch of Cash Apps and they wipe you out. Now you may be watching and you may be saying, well, Eann, this is a stupid scam, because once they steal my money from Cash App, I can reverse the transactions and I can pull this money back from the Cash App account that they sent it to, which is true to a certain extent. But the scam goes a bit further because the scammers are very smart, and no matter how good you are, these guys will find ways to outsmart you. So what the scammers are doing now is they'll take all the dirty money that they stole in the Cash App account that they sent the money to, and they'll start randomly sending that money to other random Cash App accounts or Cash App accounts of people that they think are honest and good people. So for instance, you may get a notification one day that someone sent you $1,000 in Cash App and you never expected anyone to send you any money, and then you get a text message or you get a phone call from someone saying, hey, listen man, I just sent you $1,000 in Cash App, but it was a mistake. I really need that money back. It's for my kids' tuition, or it's for my grandma's doctor visits, or some other sob story. And they'll tell you, please just send the money back because it was a mistake. I sent it to the wrong number. But then they're also going to tell you that the Cash App account that the money came from was hacked, and that is why you got the money. And so instead of sending the money back to the hacked account, you should do them a favor and just send that money to their other Cash App account, which is good. And this way the scammers are actually getting to wash the money because they sent dirty money to somebody else's account, and then that person sends the money to another Cash App account that is linked to the scammer, and that way they can pull the money from that account and they can walk away free and clear. Now this is the second part of the scam, because you may not be the initial person to get scammed, because you got the money and then you sent it to someone else, and then the money that you sent to that person is then reclaimed because of the scam, and now you're on the hook for that money. If you tried to pull that money back from that Cash App account that you sent it to, then the scammers have already drained that account and the funds are no longer there. So now you're left on the hook. Now, according to Cash App, you should never be sending money to people you don't know. So just stay safe here. Don't send money to anyone you don't know, even if they sent money to you, because if that money gets pulled back from your account for fraud, you'll be left on the hook for it. In fact, sometimes the scammers may sweeten this deal and tell you that they mistakenly sent you $1,000. And if you just be a really good person and send that money back to them, you can keep $50 for yourself just for being a good Samaritan. However, you guys want to stay away from sending anyone any money, because you will be left on the hook for it if the money is pulled back for fraud. Now, just for comparison, scammers haven't really changed their scams. They've just really used the same tactics over and over again, but they're using technology. And this is the same scam because just a few years ago, a popular scam was to take a fake check, give it to someone you don't know on the street and say, hey, I got this check, but I don't have a bank account because my bank account is closed. Or they'll make up some excuse and get some random person to go and cash that check to their account, put the cash in and give it to the scammer. And the bank would usually give that person the money immediately or make it available immediately because that person has a regular paycheck coming into their account and their account is in good standing. And then in 3 to 5 days afterwards, the bank will realize that the check is no good and they would pull the money back, and then that person that cashed the check would have to foot the bill and take a loss, and the scammer would be the one that actually profits and gets the money. So the tactics are still the same, but scammers are just using the technology and new means of pulling off the same scams that have always been around, and they've been doing them over and over again. So if it sounds like a scam, it probably is, and always think about what you stand to lose if it sounds too good to be true. So with that said, I want you guys to comment below and let me know if you've ever fell for any of these scams or fallen for any of these scams, or if you know anyone that has fallen for any of these scams, and if you've ever been pitched any of these scams, and were you able to identify it as a scam and also stay away from it. Now, with that said, be sure to check out my playlist on popular scams because you'll find a lot of useful information there that will help to prevent you from getting scammed in several different methods. And remember guys, if you like these videos, be sure to give the video a thumbs up as it helps the channel out a lot and I'll really appreciate it. And also subscribe with the notifications on so you never miss the updates of when I post new videos, which is every single day on this channel. Also, remember the purpose of this video is not for you to go and scam anyone, but for you to learn the methods that they use and to avoid being scammed as well. So as always, thanks for watching, all the best, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next one.